Hey, I'm whipping, man, you know I got the trap back, flipping, tripping, sipping on something real different, piffing, high, making really bad decisions, tipping, leaning, feeling like water, man, I finna put another order, make it come across the border. And I save all my money, shit piling up, bank calling me a hoarder. I buy a hole, then I chop it down to quarters. If you want less than that, you gotta talk to my workers. I'm from the law, no rules, frat house like old school. Blacked out, nigga, no hue. I'm eating rappers like they soul food. I'm Shang Tsung swimming in my soul pool. Damn it, I'm so cool, but I ain't iced up. I don't wear chains cause they make too much noise. And you know a nigga creeping like John Wilkes Booth. Headshots, no, you can't fuck with your boy when a nigga hit the booth. Okay.
Hi and welcome to another section of Jeff the Master Barber. On this edition, I'm gonna show you how I do, how I trim the beard or how I shape the beard, and also how I do a baldy. Right now I'm using the senior, but the blade is the balding from the wall balding. The reason why I switched the blade and I got two seniors cordless. This is one of them, and then what I did, I took the blade that it came from factory, and then I bought a balding blade from Amazon, and then I put it into this machine. The balding is basically to do what the trimmer like a GTX or detailer could do, only the blade is twice the size. And if you put it into a machine like this, it cleans a lot quicker. That way you don't have to sacrifice using your trimmers to clean, to doing a baldy. I don't worry going so much perfect on balding it, because I'm gonna pass the electric shaver. So I just trying to get all the bulkiness, all the long hair as low, you know what I mean? More lower than what it is. Yeah, with the balding, it saves you a lot of time. And then why I didn't buy the balding with the cable, the original, because they don't make it cordless, yes, and I like everything cordless, no cables. It's more flexibility. So as you could tell right here, I speed up the process so I don't bore you, you know what I mean? I don't bore you with the same thing. This is pretty easy. Any 3-year-old could do this, but still, whenever you pass the shaver, make sure, at this point, definitely take your time. Just to pass the balding and pass the electric shaver on the head, it took me 13 minutes. I just want to make sure that it was grabbing everything perfectly, that there was no studs, no roots, that it was nice and smooth. And yeah, I'm using the electric shaver Series 9, the Broom Series 9, Braun Series 9, whatever they call it. You could get it at Best Buy or Amazon or eBay or at the website. And yes, I definitely recommend this one. You save twice the time than a regular Andes or wall. But if you only have wall or Andy, go for it, use it, and pretty much follow the same procedure. Just make sure you shave it like that. Make sure you get every corners. Make sure with the left hand, or if you are righty, while you cutting with the machine, the other hand is actually feeling the head to see if there's any studs or any roots or any hair more longer. See, that's what I'm doing right now. Yeah, I definitely recommend it. After that, I get aftershave or if you alcohol with a little bit of cool breeze from the blow dryer. Don't use the hot, but unless if the guy wants the heat and it's too cold and he wants heat instead of cold, then you pass it. Right now I have him laying down. I'm passing the comb just to take all the hair, get it really nice and straight out. The reason why I have him laying down is I'm a short guy, so I want to be able to grab, be able to touch every part with no problem and reach to those places that I normally wouldn't be able sitting down. I'm using the Andy Slimline for this beard, because I like the teeth on the detail on this one. The teeth are more longer, so especially with this type of hair, his hair is really thick. It would definitely work very well and I don't have them zero gap, so I don't worry if they're not cutting, if they're not hitting, or they're not that sharp. But at least they could do what it's doing right now. They at least could shape a little bit. That's what it matter to me. I don't want him to be too zero gap and then irritate or bother the skin of the client, or he complains that it feels uncomfortable, and then, you know what I mean. I don't want the skin to be irritated. I don't want the client to be irritated. I want him to be comfortable as possible. Right now I'm using the magic clip with the level close, and I'm taking all the little hairs that are standing, the bulkiness, everything. I'm getting this, nice and even. You're gonna see me through the whole hair, through the whole procedure, doing it a couple of times, because every time we shaping it, in different angle that you step in different angle and see it, there's gonna be some hairs. They're gonna tell you, okay, pass it right here. You still need to pass it right here. Just like like a haircut, like a regular, normal haircut top too. So I'm using it as a trimmer basically too at this point, but not really. Like, I'm not going right to the skin. So then I go back to my Andy Slim line. I like the cordless, the freedom, the flexibility. I've done it before with the detailers. I've been using too lately the wall detailers. But I feel with this type of hair, his hair is so thick and the porous is so thick and open, then with the blade of the detailers, the wall, it will get stuck, and I don't want him to keep poking on or whatever it is. With this one, it don't do that. Even though the tooth are longer, for some reason it doesn't get stuck in the porousness, and it's very, I'm telling you, this little trimmer is perfect weight, is well balanced, is definitely very, very flexible, especially when you're doing this type of beard. Especially the blade is very small and it goes in those type little corners right there. So it's just, it feels great in the hand. I'm cleaning the nostrils right there, and then I go different angles and I see that there's some hair standing up. So with this same trimmer, I go over just lightly. You could use, if you don't want to use the magic clip, you can use the trimmer like that too. So now we're going to the other side, and we're gonna do exactly what we did in the other side. We're just gonna comb the hair, pretty much everything straight out, get it straight, and then with the trimmer, we're just gonna go nice and gentle. You don't have to put it too hard. You don't have to pressure too hard in order to cut. This trimmer is just, it feels good when it's grabbing the hair. It feels the crunchy, like you could tell they hit. And even though I don't have, like I said, I don't have a zero gap, it definitely does the trick. It really does the trick. You can tell right here, we still cleaning it, and there's gonna be some spot that you're gonna see from already here that I have to go with the magic clip and groom it out. People ask me, how come when I shave this type of hair, he gets caught or whatever. And it's that you gotta definitely cut down as much possible that you can, and then when you shave, you're supposed to shave first up and then down, and work your way down and then down up. This is the magic clip, level close, and you see I'm grooming everything out. Like, I'm going just in the surface, and I'm grabbing all the little hair that are standing out, and every position that you step, whether it be in the side, in the back of his head, or in front of his head, you're gonna look at the angle, and you're gonna go right on top of it with the magic clean, brush it out, and use it like a little trimmer. You see what I'm doing? Just going all the corners, all the borders, cleaning as much as I can. Right here, see, I'm going right there. Barely touching it, but just those hair right there, you're gonna see in a minute. And it's not how it looks right now. It's when it's finished that you could give your opinion. And even if you don't like it, at the end of the day, the only opinion that matters, like I always said, is the client. If he keeps coming and he keeps paying and he's happy, I'm happy. And even if it doesn't work out like that he don't like it and he goes to another barber, I try my best. And You know what I mean? That doesn't mean that I'm stopped, that I'm no more on a barber. You gotta keep going. Maybe you didn't please one client, but you gotta keep moving. There's other clients that will definitely appreciate and give you the chance. So don't get stuck by other people's opinion, and even those who get the haircut with you and then they don't get your haircut with you no more. You gotta keep going. You know, you gotta keep giving your best. Regardless, you know, that will make you stronger, that will make you smarter, that will, you use it as a you know, a procedure, as a training. You know, keep every day feel like, you know, you're hungry, like you're still learning, like you still want it bad, like you want to perfect your craft. You know, when you stay like that and you stay hungry, that's when you really, you know, develop yourself more and more and more, and that's, you gotta look every angle. You gotta look every angle, whether it be cutting hair or whether it be outside from cutting hair. So, you know, just like you go to the gym to work out, it's not just one day event. You gotta go, you know, gotta eat well, you gotta train the muscle, you gotta push the muscle to the limit, you gotta rest the muscle. So everything in pretty much in life is pretty much the same. You need some type of rest, you need a balance too, you know what I mean? Then you gotta do sacrifices, you gotta invest. This is my medicated Bump Pro shaving gel. It smells like the winter fresh gum, and I always said it, you know, when you put this cream on the face, it acts like a mask, and it protects the skin, especially when you passing the blade so many times or in the place, and even if it dried up, it still glides really smooth and it won't irritate the skin. So definitely I recommend this gel. But you're gonna see now how I'm gonna get it more detailed. The beard, I'm gonna get it more detailed. I don't worry if my trimmers they get it that close, because I'm gonna get it really sharp and detailed is with the blade. This is the Black Widow razor holder, and I'm also using the Black Widow razor, the blade, and those two combined, man, definitely I recommend it. You could check it out in Amazon, or eBay, or you could go through Black Widow on Instagram. You could ask for Will Ocasio, and you could tell them that you saw me on YouTube. If you tell them that you see these blades on my video on YouTube, I'm sure that he will give you a discount for it. But yeah, watch, you know. What I do is I use the corner first, you know, watch this. I use the corner of the blade, and then I start molding it little by little. This is the way he likes the beard to be done, you know what I mean? It's not what I want, it's how he likes it. Curvy like that, and start really thin, pointy, right on the top by the ear. He don't like it faded. I know some people will like, you know, oh, do it faded, or how come you didn't keep it natural wide? It's just, this is strictly how the client likes it. This is how the client asked me to do it, and that's how I'm gonna continue to do it. So as you could tell, you know, once I did shave up, from top to bottom. Now I'll go from bottom to top, and then I grab right here the eyebrows. Notice my left hand, always my left thumb holding the skin, stretching the skin is very important. And I don't like the woman eyebrows, you know what I mean? I keep it as natural possible. It's good when you have them nice and cleaned up, just barely touching it, just, you know, a little bit here, a little bit there. And then when I'm at it, I'm just checking every corner for any baby hairs and whatnot. Right here in that section is very crucial. You gotta go really, my only advice is, if you don't feel comfortable, go the other angle. See how I went the other angle, and I'm using the corners, and I'm barely touching it, and I'm stretching the skin with the left hand. And you know, I go then the opposite way. I switch the blade, I put another brand new blade, and you're gonna see that it's gonna now is getting dry, and now it's gonna get more detail when I pass it a couple of times again. Watch. And then with the combs, all the hairs, I comb it, and then I start like right away right there, you know what I mean? Notice my left hand always stretching the skin. Then I'm gonna get it more detailed later on, more sharper. Now it's getting dry, so now you see the white dust. I use it, like I said, as a defense line, so I don't push it more back, and it let me know that I already got it all really crispy and detailed. In the meanwhile, notice in the bottom, in that section, when people start shaving, sometimes start bleeding because of the pores. They're so thick, and the hair is so thick that it start bleeding. So you gotta be careful. You gotta shave, from top to bottom, and then bottom to top. That's the way that I recommend you to do it. So yeah, we keep right now. Notice one more time, I keep passing it. Now that I see that I trim pretty much, that I shave a little bit more closer, now I go in again and detail a little bit more. Then I see this little corner right there that's getting my attention, so get it more like shaped up, really get it really detailed, a little more rounded. Notice how I don't put too much pressure, and notice how I'm still shaving from top to bottom. And notice how my 3 fingers in the left hand is stretching the skin in the throat, and that way it doesn't pull the hair all the way from the roots. That's what irritate, and it start bleeding. Also, if you're not putting a brand new blade, especially when you're going in the mustache or right in that section, if you don't put a brand new blade, or if you haven't really trim up all the hairs with the trimmer right, and you don't switch the blade, and you don't put the cream, that, you know what I mean? Notice how I'm shaving then from bottom to top after I went from top to bottom. So once you do all that, you should be able to have, you should be able to have a clean shave. You know what I mean? Like this, no cut, no irritation, with the right, the right procedures. You gotta work with the right steps. Notice over here, see, it's already dry. So right away, the minute that I start shaping it throws the dust, the white dust. I right when I finish, before he leave, I put an aftershave, and I take that line, the white line. But in the meanwhile, when I'm working and I'm doing it and I'm shaping it, I like to see it. I like to have it. I like to make sure that I already took that section. I go right in that with using the corners, getting every little corner with the corner of the blade, but barely touching it, and make sure that I'm not just scratching it. You know what I mean? You don't want to scratch. You just want to make sure like you scraping, like shaving, picking it up, and yeah, same thing on the eyebrows. Look for every angle, stretch every time you're gonna use the blade. Make sure the finger is right behind it or right next to it, and then pass a couple of times. The first time it's not gonna come out so detailed, but if you keep being persistent and keep switching the blades when you don't feel that it's like, you could tell when a blade gets dull. You gotta keep switching it. You gotta keep looking from every angle, and it's gonna tell you, the little voice is gonna tell you, nah, you gotta get a little more sharper. You could get it more sharper right there. You could get a little more sharper, and you see how it's looking. It's looking crispy. I mean, to me, the beauty is in the eye of the holder, and to me, it's coming out. It's coming out good. Some people never's gonna get satisfied. You can't please everyone, but it's one thing too. It's one thing me doing it, and then also you doing it, and also being not only cutting hair, but looking for the right angle for the camera. Make sure the camera is recording, switching the battery, make sure this is staying focused. Then I have to edit it and all that. So for me, what I love when I'm doing this, it definitely, I see what I have to do, or what I have to do for the video next time, or for the haircut when I cut next time. And I love explaining it for even myself, because it trains me, and I see what I'm capable, and I'm stepping out of myself, seeing myself how I do it, and in what way I could perfect myself, and what ways I could help you or anybody that wanted to be helped. You know what I mean? Like, just by looking, you know what I mean? I don't even have to, I don't have to say nothing. Just by you looking at it, it will, you know, it should give you a satisfaction that, yeah, definitely, okay, I see what he's doing. I'm gonna try that, you know what I mean? And you give it a try, and then you see that it works for you. You're gonna understand the feeling. Sometimes you gotta put it in. It's not just watching the video and that's it. Nah, sometimes it's just when you put it into action and put it in practice, you're gonna see the results that you're gonna get and the feeling that you're gonna get. Notice with the brush, I brush everything out, and notice now I got them sit down straight, and now I'm just gonna go getting those details. You know, those little details make the difference. Watch here, you know, maintain it really outside, and it makes the difference. It really does. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get it, you know, close right there. And sometimes you don't have to even cut hair. Watch this, right here. Look at the hair. I just put it right, brush it right in. Look, got back in, and then the little corner right there. Sometimes the camera, you know, it focuses on the wrong thing. In my forearm instead of the eyebrows, but it is what it is. I'm still learning my camera. That's another thing, you know what I mean? And that's, you know, at that moment I'm paying attention more to what I'm trying to get the detail than the camera to see if it's focusing. So it's a lot in the play that I'm trying to give, and at the same time, you know, doing this video in Spanish. I do it in Spanish and then I do it in English. So right now I'm doing with the scissors, the oysters, and I pass them right on top of it. These are the 6-inch. You could get them at Sally's, Amazon, or Oysters. And definitely they've been working for me just fine. I'm sure you could get different kind, or you work with the ones that you have, but you know, do the technique just like that. You know, get those little hair like that. Notice how I'm doing the special, you know what I mean, the little details. And the little details, it makes the big difference. You know what I mean? Looking at the little details, just getting those little hair standing and getting it more groomed out, getting it more, you know, see all those little hair that they're like, you know, shooting like bullets when you cut them, you know, because it's definitely getting it. So right here, staying really outside, curving it, keep it natural, keep it that look, that roundness, you know what I mean? Everybody got their own little ways, and you know how they want the beard or the style of the beard, and this is him. This is him before the haircut and the beard, and this is how it looks. You know what I mean? His beard, I cut it like maybe 2 months ago before his wedding. I cut it down to like a number 1, and now it's that grown like that. And this is the beard all done. You know, this is how it looks. It's all groomed up. It's all details. Every side match. Details, nice round. The shape of cleaned up, real nice in that beard. The head is nice, well in shape. No hair, no missing spot, no redness, no cuts. And that's, you know, that's what you want to give. You want to give that to your client. Give the best that you can every day. I hope that I could help someone out there. If you have any question, just leave it in the comment. And you know, if I don't answer and anybody know the answer, please help that person out. Until then, it's your boy Jeff, the Master Barber. God bless you, and you know, keep doing your thing. Don't give up. That's all I gotta say.
I'm set. When you see a car pull up, you call the connect. Go outside and collect. Come back on my shit. She don't need no instruction. My shorty's a hit.